Hey kids, it's Dan from the FMV Archive, and today we have a video highlighting the top 10 FMV casts in video games ever. Yes, of all time, and this is the definitive list, there are no others. Just joking, if you have a better idea, please put it in the comments, but we're gonna get started with number 10, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Who knew this was a video game? Yes, it is, and it is a very bad one. What do you do in it? There are 3 Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch videos, and you edit them. That is it. Of course there's good vibrations. There's also 2 songs that you've never heard of on there. Just starting from the lesser known to the most known. Let's kick it off with Michael Bacall. You may recognize this guy a lot. Tarantino, a lot of Robert Rodriguez movies, Death Proof, also Inglourious Bastards. Devin Odessa, mostly known for Uncle Buck and My So-Called Life. Seth Green, probably the most recognizable voice on the top 10 list here. He is in 437 episodes of Family Guy, 226 episodes of Robot Chicken, but I remember him most for Scott Evil in the Austin Powers movie, Seth Green. And of course, the headliner. Before he was doing Ted, before he was doing Boogie Nights, before he was doing crazy action movies, Mark Wahlberg was a teenage heartthrob. He looked great doing bicep curls with cinder blocks and had a catchy enough tune that it captured America in 1992 when this game was released.
Bringing this to the entire nation. Black, white, red, brown, feel the vibration.
Up next, Demolition Man, released in 1994 for the 3DO. This one has a great cast because it has a ton of clips from the actual movie, and they added some other clips from the headliner in this one. You can also find this one on the Sega CD, and I believe the Sega CD 32X, I believe it's on that. Benjamin Bratt is first on this one. You know what he is from. You've seen him in a ton of these episodes. After that, Bob Gunton. You probably don't recognize the name, but the face, yeah, it looks familiar. He's the warden in Shawshank Redemption. May have heard of this woman. She's done a couple movies like Miss Congeniality, Miss Congeniality 2, this one right here. Her best movie, of course, without a doubt, Speed. Possibly the best badass bad guy ever in a movie. Simon Phoenix was played by Wesley Snipes, who was also in New Jack City, Major League, The Expendables, White Men Can't Jump, awesome in Blade. And there must have been a lot of money involved because Sylvester Stallone, the headliner here, came back and did some additional FMV scenes just for this game. So that's number 9. Demolition Man grossed $160 million in the theater all the way back then.
You did an excellent job. I'll hire you anytime.
Number 8, the PC-only released game Spycraft in 1996, which I believe may be the best FMV game of all time. The key to this one isn't the biggest names in it, but who they were. William Colby is in this game. He was a former CIA director, also a consultant on the game. Oleg Kolgan was a former ex-KGB person, and he is in this game. Crazy to have both of them on there. They actually did a whole documentary. Polygon did one about this. It is great. Check it out. As far as the acting talent, Charles Napier, great voice on this guy. Plays a colonel, lieutenant in about 150 movies. Silence of the Lambs, Rambo, has a bit part in Austin Powers, and has a great scene in Blues Brothers. Love him in that. Joseph Ruskin, only 168 credits to this guy's name. Did a lot of TV in the 50s and 60s. Was in a memorable episode of Star Trek, memorable episode of The Twilight Zone. You might recognize him from Smoking Aces. James Cairn, yes, Frank from Return of the Living Dead. He is in this game, and he is killing it in this game. Does a very good job, A+, adds a lot of screen presence. So after number 8, Spycraft, let's follow it up with number 7, Fox Hunt, released for the PS1 and the PC in 1996. Not a huge name, but Andrew Bone is in this. He's done a ton of voice for video games. If you're watching this channel, you've heard him in a video game definitely before. Louis Arquette, 95 acting credits. I know him mostly from Waiting for Guffman. He's great in that. Perfect character actor. George Lazenby, not a household name for most 007s, but yes, he was 007. He is in this game. If this guy were ice cream, he would taste like pralines and dick. You know who I'm talking about? That is Rob Lowe. Yes, his 911 show. Of course, Wayne's World, his greatest work. St. Elmo's Fire, Outsiders. This guy has been really great actor for the last 40 years. In the headliner, Timothy Bombs. Now you might think Timothy Bombs, that's the guy from That's My Bush, right? Not a big name. This guy was in 2 movies where he is the lead, and it was a combined 11 Academy Award nominations for those movies. Timothy Bombs, critically underrated actor. When you were the lead in The Paper Chase and The Last Picture Show, you got some serious props. Up next on our list, number 6, American Hero, released in 2003, but it's really a 90s game. It was lost. It was supposed to be released on the Atari Jaguar CD, never was. Got refurbished, re-released in 2003, and it is a very fun game. And who's in this one? Timothy Bottoms! He is the lead in this one. We just talked about him. He is awesome. Timothy came on some hard times acting-wise in the 90s, did a lot of really crappy D-level action movies. He has the worst sex scene ever in Absolute Force.
Well, they're having something. It's not sex. I don't know what the hell that is.
Wait till you try it with pants off.
See, I told you so. But he is in this, and his comedy is really good. Really love him. Musetta Vander, actually a pretty big name. She was in Wild Wild West, Oh Brother, We're Out There. Still acting today, has about 100 credits to her name. If you want to duplicate an awesome, gruff, grizzled voice, Lawrence Tierney is the guy that you'd want to emulate in here. He's in this one, plays the Lieutenant Colonel, really good. He's always the heavy in a movie, and you probably knows him from Reservoir Dogs. Daniel Roebuck, while he isn't a household name, he's got 286 credits to his name. U.S. Marshals, The Fugitive, he was in the original Final Destination. Guy gets around. Landon Hall, she is the stripper in this one. If you notice her, clear your browser history. Up next on our list, number 5, The X-Files. Of course this is on here. The X-Files game was released on the PS1 only in 1998 and stars David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson. Yes, they are actually in this game for a decent amount of time considering their level of stardom. Of course, they're both known for this. David Duchovny, Californication, The Joneses, tons of movies, tons of TV. He's been around forever. Gillian Anderson, a lot of the same. But also as a lot of the other people in the X-Files, which are known for a ton of other stuff, like Mitch Pileggi. He was the bad guy in Shocker. Yeah, that, which really is not a great movie, but he's pretty good in it. If you're a fan of the show, the Lone Gunmen are in this one, and Mr. X, yes, Stephen Williams, probably best known, actually not, but for me at least, Jason 9, Jason Goes to Hell. This is a wonderful game. It is a 130-minute movie, and we have the entire cinematic clip of it here on our channel if you want to check that out, which I highly recommend. Number 4, Double Switch. You've probably never even heard of this game. This was released in 1993 for the Sega CD. This is a similar game as Texas Ground Zero, Night Trap, very similar, 4 cameras, a lot of timing, and you're catching bad guys in this one. But the acting talent is why you're here. And let's start with Debbie Harry wearing a black wig because she's most known as Blondie. Yes, Blondie is in this game. May have heard of this guy, R. Lee Emery. Yes.
Because I am hard, you will not like me. What side was that, Private Pile?
Sir, left side, sir!
Are you sure, Private Pile?
This guy is an amazing actor. Why he was in this, I'll never know, and it doesn't look like he's giving it his best effort, I can say, from playing this game a few times. He has one of the most iconic roles ever, playing the drill sergeant in Full Metal Jacket. He is absolutely amazing in that movie. He was also in Seven, also in The Frighteners, which is a really good Michael J. Fox movie. Peter Jackson directed that one. 126 credits to his name. Why he was in this, I do not know, but actually plays a very large role in the game. Erwin Keyes, a unique look to the guy, and when you see a picture of him, you'll say, ah, that guy, he's in this one. Taylor Negron, Biodome, The Last Boy Scout, Nothing But Trouble, tons of movies. But the headliner, this dude owned the Tiger Beat cover in the mid-80s. This is Corey Haim. He is in this game, the other half of the two Coreys. By the time this is filmed in 1993, he's on his downward trend as an actor, but he is still a pretty big name here. Lucas, Lost Boys, License to Drive, the two Coreys. I am still mad at you, AMC, for canceling that, but this guy was everywhere from 1984 to 1990. The game is super frustrating, but the cast is A+. Number 3 on our list, Toonstruck. Yeah, this is, talk about frustrating, man. This game is impossibly hard with its clues, very tough point and click with FMV Game. Tons of great voice work on this. Dom DeLuise, this guy was attached to the hit for comedies with Burt Reynolds, Cannonball Run. He was in Blazing Saddles, one of the better actors, comedians in the 70s and 80s. David Ogden Stiers, depending on how old you are, you're going to recognize him from either MASH, and if you're a little bit younger, you're going to recognize him as Cogsworth from Beauty and the Beast. Dan Castellaneta does some voice work in this one. You may recognize him as Homer Simpson from The Simpsons. He's only done about 25,000 episodes of that one. Does voice work for this, which is really big in 1993. This is kind of at his height. The two big names in this one, Ben Stein. You probably recognize him from being the speechwriter for Richard Nixon. No, you don't. You recognize him from this.
Here.
Bueller. 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 Bueller.
He's sick.
That iconic role got him a show called Win Ben Stein's Money on Comedy Central, which was critically underrated. The headliner, the guy who plays the cartoonist who is being overworked, falls asleep, enters the cartoon dreamland, kind of like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit type of thing going on here, is Christopher Lloyd. Probably best known for Back to the Future, good old Doc. A lot of people recognize him as Uncle Fester. This guy is an absolutely phenomenal actor, still doing work today in his 80s, and it is really good. Number 2, Command & Conquer 3 Red Alert. This game is jam-packed with full motion video to tell the story. While the game really isn't full motion video, the story-driven parts definitely are. We're going to start with the two MMA fighters, Randy Couture and Gina Carano. They're both in this one. Tons of action work with both of those. I had 4 posters of this woman in my room in 1996. That is the one and only Jenny McCarthy, probably best known at that time for MTV singled out, done a lot of movie work since then. J.K. Simmons, this guy does all the insurance ads, Juno, La La Land, Burn After Reading, iconic actor, really good. George Takei of Star Trek fame also stars in Command and Conquer Red Alert 3. Tim Curry is perfect in his role in this one. Kind of plays goofy, kind of serious, kind of mean. I really like him in this one. Clue, obviously. Congo, you may remember him from that one. I often wonder if he really liked being Dr. Frankenfooter and all those years after the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Obviously his best known work. Ivana Mislovic, she's a Bond girl. She's in this. Pirates of the Caribbean Groves. Yes, this is Greg Ellis, who has 224 credits to him, but definitely both known for the Pirates of the Caribbean series. But I know him as Sleet Westbrook because my daughter loves Lego City Adventures. Not the biggest name on the list, but I gotta mention Andrew Divoff. I hope that's how you pronounce his name. He is the Wishmaster in the Wishmaster series, which is one of the worst horror series ever that has at least 3 movies. It is comically bad, but he is the Wishmaster.
A new world order awaits.
And number 1, you can't have an FMV list with acting talent without having Wing Commander 3 on it. Starting up at the bottom and going up to the top in order of importance, at least for me. Jason Bernard, he plays the judge in Liar Liar, character actor, tons of film work, including 72 episodes of Herman's Head back in the 90s. John Rhys Davis plays Gimli in Lord of the Rings, also in the original Raiders of the Lost Ark. Tim Curry does some voice work, back again. Courtney Gaines, most recognizable as one of his earliest roles as Malachi in Children of the Corn. Also The Burbs, Can't Buy Me Love, The Wrath of Becky, this guy gets around. Josh Lucas, thought this guy was going to be the next McConaughey, although he did pretty well for himself. Ford vs. Ferrari, Sweet Home Alabama, always plays the aw shucks kind of good looking guy. Ginger Lynn, mostly adult entertainment, but she was also in a bunch of movies as well, including The Devil's Rejects. Tom Wilson, Biff Tannen in Back to the Future. He hates that he gets recognized for that all the time, although he's a very accomplished actor. Done a ton of other stuff. But if you're making a video game and you want the nerds to get excited, here are 2 huge names. Malcolm McDowell, start with that one. 300 credits to his name. Great actor. Clockwork Orange is probably his best work. Was also playing in the latest Halloween release of movies. An absolutely movie icon that nerds will love. But no nerd loves anyone more than Mark Hamill from effing Star Wars. I mean, what a huge get for this. He is really good in this and, you know, kind of gets overlooked as an actor as good as he is just because he was Luke Skywalker and he's always remembered for that. But man, really good in this one. So there you have it. That's our top 10 list of acting talent in FMV games ever. We probably missed one, but please leave it here in the comments. We can always change his videos. We can always add more. If you disagree with anything, let us know on that too. I mean, Timothy Brown's on here twice. People aren't going to like that, but that's okay. That's part of the fun of this. If you like this video and you like full motion video games, that's all we do here. So please hit like and subscribe, and we will do a ton more of these. Cheers.